What's up guys, Bob Buskirk here at ThinkComputers, and today we're taking a look at another CPU cooler from CRYORIG. It is their H5 Universal, so let's go ahead and take a look. The H5 Universal comes in a very nice retail box. One thing I've talked about with other CRYORIG products is they do a great job on their packaging. Tons of information. So on the front, it lets us know that it is the H5 and it has a picture of the unit. On the side, it kind of goes over some of the technologies that are used in the cooler itself. On this side, it just says H5. And then on the back, it has our fullest specifications and all of that fun stuff. So again, if you are at the store, you're gonna have a lot of information in front of you so you know what you're buying. Let's go ahead and get it inside. And one thing that's pretty cool is that on the inside, it shows you or tells you how to register your product and receive an extended 3-year warranty. That's kind of like on this blue part inside. And then getting everything out, or trying to get everything out. Let's see if I can flip this and get it all out here. So these are always interesting to try to get undone just because each company does it differently, and when you're trying to do it, it can be difficult. And this one looks like it might be a little more difficult to get out. So I've got the cooler out, which again is nicely packaged. It's protected in plastic. Again, very great to see from a newer company like CRYORIG. Let's see if I can get all of this stuff apart. Okay, here we go. So it's interesting that they put this all together like in this one box. So your installation stuff is kind of over here in this little pop out. And then on this side is, again, some more installation stuff. So we'll get it all out and show you what all comes in. I think that's basically it. So move all this stuff out of the way, and we'll take a look at what all comes in here. So as far as accessories and everything like that, you have all of your installation hardware for both AMD and Intel. So I was trying to hold this stuff up so you guys can kind of see all of your back plates and mounting bars and all of that. And you do get this screwdriver, which one thing I really want to point out that I don't talk about a lot is that some companies will have CPU coolers where you need a long and thinner, so this is kind of thinner screwdriver. So if I grab, let me see if I have a screwdriver here. So if I have this screwdriver, which I have here, see how it's kind of thicker on the end? And that won't actually go down in the hole that you need. So some companies don't include these with their CPU coolers, and I have to either use one of these that I already have, or I have to go to the store and get a new screwdriver. So just one thing that I really wanted to point out that's really important is that they do include their own screwdriver for installation. As far as that, you do get 2 extra fan clips as well. So you can, I'm assuming you can install a second fan on the cooler. And then you have your thermal compound, which is CRYORIG's CP9. Comes in a little syringe that makes it easy, of course, to install in your CPU. And then we have our installation guide. It looks like there's a product registration card, which I talked about. They show you how to register everything. That's in this little bag right here. So we'll move all of our accessories out of the way, and we'll try and get inside this. One thing about good packaging is that it's sometimes hard to get everything out. So I'm gonna try and do that with this. All right. And because this is a heat sink, I'm trying to do this without cutting myself on the heat sink fins because nobody wants to do that. There we go. So we have the cooler there. Sorry for the long taking that off. So one thing about this cooler immediately is that it looks great. It has sort of this white piece on the top and bottom that makes it look pretty cool, and it does have the CR or CRYORIG logo right there that just looks awesome. Again, that's going to be showing out if you have this installed in a case that has a window. So, but the cooler itself, again, this is H5 universal. And the reason why they call it universal is that it has universal capabilities for memory. So if you have this installed in your system, and of course, if you're in a higher end system, you have memory on each side, or typically you have memory on one side. This gives you 100% compatibility with that, so you don't have to worry. We're seeing a lot of companies do this now where they kind of not certify, but give you 100% compatibility either on Intel or an AMD side, where the heatsink itself is not going to get in the way of the memory. So this is one of those coolers. They do have the H5 Ultimate, which has a larger fan. You can see the fan on the front here. You can see just how thin it is. It's not very thick. That's what makes it universal, is because the fan, it does not get in the way, of course, that memory. This is your typical tower cooler, as you can see. Single tower. It is pretty big though. The actual surface area of the fins on the heatsink is very big, so that should provide really great cooling. The larger the surface area, typically the better cooling. That's just kind of how everything works. So you'll have that, and you can actually kind of see the heatsink here. All aluminum heatsink, and you can see the heat pipes that go up into the actual heatsink. The fan itself is CRYORIG's XT140, so it's a 140 millimeter fan, and as you can see, it does have the CRYORIG logo on it right there. Again, looks really great. It is a gray fan, and I do want to mention that on the top, it's kind of hard to see, but right there, it lets you know the direction of the airflow. So if you take this off and you're ready to put it back on, you're kind of wondering, oh, which way the airflow is going. It's actually on the fan, and then around where the fan clips go, on the corners, there is rubber, so that helps with vibration and noise. Going down to the bottom, we have, of course, our CPU base, and there's 4 copper heat pipes here, and they're not the thickest I've seen, but they should be pretty thick. So the way, of course, this all is going to work if you're new to heat sinks or anything like that, is that on the base right here, so we'll do it the way that it would be installed in your system. So on the base down here is where your heat's going to get generated from your CPU. That heat is going to be transferred up into the heatsink via the copper heat pipes, and then of course your fan is going to exhaust all that heat out of your system. That's kind of how it works. I'm really excited to check out this cooler. It looks great. I'm really hoping it performs great as well. It is the CRYORIG H5 Universal. So check back very soon on ThinkComputers.org, as we'll have our full written review. And remember guys, if you enjoy our videos, why don't you subscribe? Catch you guys later.